What's going on, everyone? This is Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf, and in this show, we are talking our favorite DFS sleepers for the 2020 Sanderson Farms Championship. We also released our DFS picks and fade show just a little bit earlier, so make sure to check that out. We'll be doing daily showdown videos throughout the tournament on YouTube. We'll be doing a full DFS breakdown on our Twitch channel on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. So make sure to pencil that in your calendars. And we'll also be doing a Cut Sweat show on Friday, sometime mid-afternoon when the second wave is out there. Craig, we're talking DFS sleepers. So for our purposes, we're talking under 7,500 on DraftKings. What are your first thoughts here as we look at our sleepers?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to have pretty good ownership down here. I like a lot of the guys at the top of the salary range, and so to get them in, I want to have quite a bit of a scattering down here, so it's a bit of a mix of guys who I think are really high odds to make cuts, and then also guys who have better than their price odds of a top 10 finish or a top 20 finish or something like that.
Yeah. And as I've said in the previous videos, we don't want you to pick all 6 of these guys, throw them in a lineup. Pick and choose kind of who you think fits your lineup best. We had a couple great sleepers from last week. We had Tyler McCumber listed here. We had Justin Suh listed here. Those guys really made the week, like DFS, GPP lineups, shoot all the way to the top.
Yeah, and it's really a matter of you don't want to have 2 or 3 of these unless they all hit. So you have to pick and choose, and I mean that's where I like to get a bunch of different lineups in that have a scattering of different sleepers, so that when they do hit, you get them on a 6 out of 6.
Yeah. So my first is Kristoffer, 7,200 on DraftKings this week, 8,800 on FanDuel. Just a huge price discount from last week, where he didn't do anything special, but he made the cut. Like it seems the field's a little bit stronger for Sanderson Farms, but nothing drastic. But huge price discount. He went down $2,000 from 9,200 to 7,200. He's currently on a string of 5 made cuts in a row. If you're looking at this range, I mean, you're not necessarily looking for a guy who win, although I think these guys all have a legit chance to challenge. But you need cut makers, and he's made a bunch of cuts in a row. So he's streaking. He's kind of trending in the right direction. He's a long hitter. He can putt really well. He's strong with his flat stick. Iron play, that's probably his weakness, but I think it's coming around a little bit. He seems to be trending in the right direction with his irons.
Yeah, I think, both him and your next one here, both of them are plus off the tee guys who also can putt, which, if you can drive and putt, any week you can go out there and contend on the PGA Tour. So,
for sure. So the next one is Adam Schenk. He is 6,700 on DraftKings, 8,500 on FanDuel. I mean, it's hard to compare prices across platforms, but he just seems on really big discount on DraftKings this week. If I'm kind of picking and choosing where to play my sleepers, I'm probably going to pick him there. He's made 3 cuts in a row at Jackson, Mississippi, at this golf course for Sanderson Farms. He's never once shot over par. So we're talking 4, 8, 12 rounds in a row through the years. He's never once shot over par on this course. I know some people don't like course history, horses for courses, all that, but that's a positive in my books. He's also on a made cut streak of 8 consecutive tournaments, going all the way back to, what was it there, Craig? The Travelers? And
last time he missed was July. Travelers. He's been making them since Rocket Mortgage.
So, I mean, I'm not necessarily top 10s or anything like that, but he's making cuts, and that's positive for $6,700 on DraftKings. That's what I'm looking for, and then anything above and beyond that is kind of bonus.
Yeah.
And then my last one, Sahith Theegala, 6,600 on DraftKings, 7,900 on FanDuel. We just released a new podcast called My Boys. He was my last boy. He's someone I'm watching all year long. I think he's a tremendous talent, and he has a limited number of sponsor starts to earn his PGA Tour card for the next season. So he needs to take advantage of every single sponsor exemption that he gets. We don't have a lot of statistical data on him. This is kind of a gut play if you think the talent is there. His last competitive tournament, which was the first tournament of the season, was the Safeway Open. He was 14th there, so very strong showing, including a 64 on Saturday. So he can go low.
Yeah, and I think this one, I mean, both Ventura and Schenk, I think you can look at previous play and the numbers and the stats. Whereas Theegala, it's much more of a talent pick. I think it's a bit of a flyer because we don't have a year or even a few years of data on how this guy plays compared to other people in the field. But he was a dominant college player. He's still looking to get his feet under him on the PGA Tour, but obviously he can finish high in these tournaments. And
the one concern I kind of have is he's a California kid through and through. Grew up there, went to school there. Even the Safeway Open is in California. So I don't know, like, grasses change, different climates. It's like all the travel, how well his game's going to travel. So that's kind of my one hesitation, and the fact that he's completely green. But this talent, he perks your interest just on the talent alone.
Yeah, I think to me, he's just more of an upside flyer as opposed to a cut maker type down here, which I'm totally fine with that.
Yep, put him in one lineup and see how it goes.
Okay, getting into mine. Speaking of the cut maker types, first off, we've got Cameron Tringale. Tringale. He is 7,300 on DraftKings and 8,700 on FanDuel. This is a guy that he always seems to be priced in this range, and he always seems to make cuts. You look back all the way through the 2019-2020 season, he was 15 of 19 for cuts made. In terms of the people in this field, he's number 2 in strokes gained total for 2019-2020, which, I mean, when you think about that, that doesn't make a ton of sense, but it is the case. He's not one of these guys that blows up. He's not one of these guys. He can go low, but he can
definitely go low. Yeah.
He's one of these guys that's just usually he's a fairly steady player. But yeah, number 5 in in the field in cost adjusted value, and he's a positive in all strokes gained categories except off the tee, and even off the tee, he's only maybe, for 2020, he's only maybe a minus 0.1. He's only losing a tenth of a stroke off the tee, so he's just one of these guys that's rock solid, sort of a journeyman pro type.
Right. And the cost adjusted value is our DFS model on our website. A great place to kind of reference sleepers there. That's kind of usually the first place I go. You kind of sort by different years, sort by both. You can find some guys that are just mispriced a little bit on both platforms.
Yeah, and when you see things like this where there's no reds across the board, then that's usually a fairly solid indicator.
Yeah, that's a great sign.
So next up, I've got Mark Hubbard, and he is maybe a bit more of a volatile player than Tringale, but still very much I think he's a cut maker. Since the restart, he has made 9 cuts and I believe something like 19 of 24 total for the 2019-2020 season. So these are the type of guys that what I'll likely do is people like Tringale or Hubbard, I'll probably plug one of those 2 in with one of my more volatile type sleepers, because I think they just have very good chances of making cuts or better chances than where they're priced. So I think that's where their value is. But Hubbard also has the upside value. He's got 7 of those 24 starts, he was top 25. So it's not like he's just making cuts and getting paid on the weekend with a check. He's actually getting up into the top half of the players who've made the cut.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to get there on Hubbard this week.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'm okay if you don't. I don't think any, none of these guys are going to be very high owned. He doesn't, he has missed a couple cuts. The Safeway Open, I want to say he missed on the number or just there around the number. And then US Open, he didn't play well, but it's such a different experience, the US Open field compared to this type of tournament. But if you look at the rest of his results since the restart, it's just been solid. Like he had a withdraw at the workday, but other than that, he's played pretty well. So
yeah, for sure.
He's just a value play to me. And my last one here, Wesley Bryan. He is 6,300 on DraftKings and 7,600 on FanDuel. he's a bit of a different story. So we have
Yeah,
less data
for
on
sure.
him. As some may know, he was away from golf for maybe almost 2 years,
Right.
but he's now had 5 starts since returning, and he's made 4 cuts. He so for his 2019-2020 stats,
Mhm.
he only played those 4 tournaments. The
Yeah.
one cut that he missed was in the Safeway, and he also missed on the number at Safeway.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, but in his starts, he has elite strokes gain approach numbers, plus
Hmm.
1.284. So this would be
Great.
amongst
Yeah.
the top in on the PGA Tour, not just in
Right.
this field. He just doesn't have enough starts to actually show up on the overall rankings for the year. But if he did in our field here, he would be number 4 for strokes gained tee to green. Um, uh, and so I think that's just reflective of the fact that this guy's a ball striker.
Yeah.
If he continues to get starts and play well, you are gonna be hearing more from him.
Yeah.
But like I said, 5 starts. He's got 3 of those 5. He was top 30 or tied for 31 or better. So um,
Yeah, he just seems completely mispriced. I was telling you, I've made a couple kind of lineups by hand so far. He just kind of fit really nicely in one, and I love the fact that he's just that price. You can plug him in. Um, yeah, it's a little bit more of a question mark, but in golf is random. But we've kind of seen with people like Hudson Swafford, you want to be early with guys that you know have talent and are coming battling back from something or just haven't been necessarily playing the same kind of regular tournaments they're used to. So I really like Wes Bryan as well.
yeah, and so I mean that's exactly it. I think that he might actually. I think he's enough of a story that he might end up with a little bit of ownership, but
Right.
I don't. Even with his ownership levels, if he does play as he is capable of,
Yeah.
if he hits his high end of his variance, then
Yeah.
it's going to be absolutely worth it. So
For sure.
uh, I will have him in some percentage of my lineups this week.
Yeah. So quickly recapping, my sleepers are Kristoffer Ventura at 7,200, Adam Schenk at 6,700, and Sahith Theegala at 6,600.
Your boy.
My boy.
Um, And I've got Cam Tringale at 7,300, Mark Hubbard, Homeless Hubs, they call him apparently, at 6,800, and Wesley Bryant at 6,300.
Awesome. Thank you everybody for watching our video. Like our picks, disagree with them, let us know below. Any questions or comments, throw them down there. We have all our links across all our platforms below in the description. So please check that out. We will be doing a live stream on Wednesday on Twitch at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific to break down the whole field with our DFS model. And make sure to follow us on Twitter at Grandstand Golf. And oh God,
All the things down below. You'll see them.
all the things down below. Thank you for the continued support. Please like and subscribe to our channel and click the bell to watch our upcoming videos.
See you guys soon. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.